Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 24 and the final race of Season 1 on our 2013 playthrough. Judgment Day has arrived. Will we survive? Let's find out as we head to the final Grand Prix of the season in Brazil. Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to the channel for what could be an interesting Grand Prix. I've gone full rah-rah, let's go team mode, trying to keep the board happy. I've got the official team cap on, doing everything I can to try and keep my job. We are just one race and a couple of weeks away from finding out if we are going to actually stay at McLaren next season. It's not a foregone conclusion. If we take a look at the board confidence, we've managed somehow with a little flurry of satisfied results to get them to low confidence, but we still have one race to go and a bad race could be decisive, and we have already failed the season objective. There is no way we can get to fourth. You know, we are confirmed in fifth place. We're not going to get overtaken and drop down anymore, but we're not going to catch Lotus, and we're going to stay in fifth place. So that's going to go against us. Finances are good, so we've got that in our favour. We haven't got to worry about finances. As you can see, we just had a tiny little bit of debt there in September, but apart from that, we've been good. We've not had any real issues with money this season. We've kept the car running just about, despite numerous wrecks from both Jensen and Schumacher. Some their fault, some not. But we are down to the dregs of remaining parts, and I just got to hope that we get through practice and quali unscathed so that we can actually attack the Grand Prix with some semblance of parts. Grand Prix is just 2 days away, as you can see. These are the current standings. So you can see Red Bull already Constructors Champions, have been for a couple of weekends now. Mercedes are confirmed in second. They can't be caught by Ferrari. Ferrari and Lotus are going to be going head-to-head tonight to see who is going to finish in third. And there's us a long way back in fifth. Then we've got Sauber in sixth, Force India seventh, Toro Rosso eighth. It's quite close between these guys, and we've seen fluctuating form from them. And then we've got Williams and Caterham, both on 2 points apiece. Could Caterham actually finish ahead of Williams? Given how much their car has progressed, especially in the last 3 or 4 Grand Prix, I would have to say it's highly likely that Caterham will pick up a point and jump Williams. If there's any kind of retirement in the top 10, or if one of our drivers has another bad day, then yeah, I fully expect Caterham to get a point and finish ahead of Williams, which is going to be an amazing job for Caterham. But there is probably a reason for that, which we'll delve into. I was having a look at Caterham's expertise and staffing and stuff in the editor last night, trying to figure out why they were doing so well. And their expertise levels are almost all at 100. So it's no surprise that their car has gone on so well this season in terms of development and gone from the second worst car at the start of the year to the very best car at the end of the year in terms of active development, because they've got the highest expertise levels of anybody on the grid, and that is not how it should be. So we will be dumbing that down for next season, regardless of whether we end up at Caterham or not. So we will make sure that that expertise level is brought back to reality a little bit. Right, that's the constructor standings. These are the driver standings. Seb is the world champion for the 4th time in a row. No surprise there. He's had 11 victories out of the 18 Grand Prix we've had so far. We've got Alonso in second on 236 points, yet to pick up a win this season, which seems incredible. But, yeah, there he is, 236. Then we got Rosberg on 227, just 9 points behind. He's picked up a couple of wins this year. Hamilton's picked up a win as well. He's just 3 points behind Rosberg, and leapfrogged Webber, who has 3 wins this season. So everybody but Fernando is getting to the top step of the podium this season. Even Kimi has picked up a win as well. Grosjean's had just a single podium. He has not been anywhere near as productive as his teammate. And Lotus could struggle without Kimi next season. Kimi going to, was it Force India? Force India, I think, for next season. So, yeah, that could be a big blow for Lotus next year. And then we've got Massa, who's had a very disappointing year at Ferrari. Not sure where he's going to be driving next year. We've got Schumacher and Jensen. We haven't even had a sniff of the podium, really. So we'll just have to see if we can get a decent enough result to stay in our job today. That's the most important thing. And then we're well prepped, ready for next season. So we've improved our aero with Nicholas Hennell this season. Paddy Lowe will be leaving at the end of the year, and Adrian Newey is coming back to McLaren next season. We also brought in Alan Permain to replace Sam Michael. So, you know, we've made some wholesale changes to our staffing, and let's hope that'll be enough for us to kick on next year if we're still here. So, it's advance time a couple of days. Let's have a look. Wind tunnel. Yeah, let's. So this could be a problem. I've got stuff going through, research going through. That's research. I think we'll be okay if we shut the wind tunnel down, because that's research that's already started. Shouldn't affect the research, I hope. Not 100% certain, but now, do I take that gamble though? If I shut it down for 9 days, then all of the projects, if they do get affected, will not complete. Or I keep it going. I don't think I'll make it to the end of the year before I find out what's going to be the result of this. And there's a good chance it will make this thing a whole lot worse. And still have to shut it down to do the refurb. I think we have to gamble and just hope that it's not going to affect our wind tunnel projects or our research projects. Right, so 15, 17, 17, and 16. Let's see if those days improve when we come back from Sao Paulo. Oh, man, we're not going to find out till we come back from the Grand Prix. Oh, no. Now I'm going to have to spend the next 2 hours plus just hoping I've made the right decision there. Bugger. Yeah. Okay. Let's check the specs of our cars. They're both on the Mark III, the Mark V chassis. The Mark IV front wings, they're both on that. We've got spares there as well. Plenty of spares, actually. More than I thought. We've got a spare rear wing. Side pods. We've got a couple of spare side pods. Underfloors. They're both on the same underfloor. And suspension is where we do have a slight difference between the two cars. We didn't bother with the Mark III because it would have made the car worse. So we've got the Mark II and the Mark I. Jensen's on the Mark I. Schumacher's on the Mark II. We do have powertrain problems for Jensen. We do not have a good ERS unit. So we have decided to give Schumacher the slightly better suspension to accommodate that, because it is almost certain that, given how bumpy Interlagos is, that Jensen is going to have some kind of battery issue kick in at some point during the Grand Prix. As you can see, we killed our third gearbox yesterday for Schumacher. So we're down to our one remaining gearbox. We just got to hope he doesn't do anything stupid and put it in the wall before the Grand Prix. Or during the Grand Prix, for that matter. Yeah, we can't replace that without having to spend $1 million and take a 10-place penalty. So let's hope that we don't have to do that. This is our ERS situation. As you can see, it is not a good one. And then gearbox situation. Yeah, we're okay on gearboxes. There we go. Evening, Dino. Let's see. Targets for tonight. We're going to play it safe with both, just on the off chance. Target is 12th. I'm going to go 14th, just to make sure that we've got at least a chance of getting some money. And 15th for Jensen. There we go. That extra $1 million could be critical. And off we go then to Interlagos.
Our F1 season brings us to Brazil for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. The Autodromo José Carlos Pache has been a staple of the racing calendar for decades, and soon we'll once again be watching the best drivers in the world give it their all. Times are tough for McLaren's team principal. The board doesn't seem impressed with the direction the team are taking. Let's get on with the weekend.
Well, hopefully the board will... Oh, yeah, it's a wet race as well. I forgot about that. Hopefully the board will overlook the lack of performance this year and give us another chance next season. I'll keep my fingers crossed. We're going to go with a couple of different setups. We're going to start with a 7.5 and a 12.5. A 1.9. I'm going to max that out, and I'm going to push that up to about there. Like so. And then for Jensen, we'll go slightly different. We'll go with slightly less on the front wing. Again, we'll go 12.5 and a 1.9. We'll go to a 3.4. And we'll bring that in just a little bit as well. And let's see if either of those get close. We want to do, I think, 21 laps around here if you want to get two separate runs. I'm going to put 18 laps of fuel in. That should hopefully be enough. There we go. And 18 laps here. Yes, Schumacher settings. And let's go straight into practice, shall we? Engine damage for one of the Red Bulls and one of the Ferraris. So Alonso's going to have some kind of engine issue. That might get worse. If it does get worse, he'll get a replacement part. And same for Vettel's car, which is being test driven by Carlos Sainz today. Been trying to think what team to go with next season.
Yep, that's loud and clear.
We do get fired. It's all going to depend on what our team rating is, but Caterhill's going to be one option. Marussia is definitely going to be an option because they're really, really struggling. We may even get an option at Williams or Toro Rosso, possibly. I don't know. I think Force India are going to want a little bit more than our rating's going to be. Likewise, I don't think Sauber is going to want us. I think our rating won't be quite high enough for them. And we're certainly not going to be high enough for a team like Lotus or above. So
no risk on the curve.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what options are available. But I'm hoping we'll be able to stay with McLaren because, as I say, we put the work in to try and get prepped for next year. It would be a real shame if we didn't get the opportunity to actually try and bear the fruits of our labour a little bit. let's speed him up a bit. Track temperature at 48 degrees. That's quite toasty. We've got a few other rookies out as well. Let's have a look, see who we've got. Can't remember who that is. We'll check in a second. That is Brendan Hartley, Carlos Sainz, Marcello. Yeah, is that it? Is it just those few? Yeah, oh, Marciello, not Marcello, sorry. Brendan Hartley. Yoncadella. I always forget Yoncadella's name. And that is it. Not many rookies running. That is an issue for Vettel's car.
A lot of clipping.
And we actually get to hear Sainz. It's one of the few drivers currently on the grid that has audio. Oh no, Schumacher's got a major... Wait, that'll be... Pause. That's the ERS. It's an impending failure. That's not ideal. But it'll be fine for this session. Where are we on feedback? Not far enough along yet. That's going to fail before we get our feedback in. We're at 3 of 5 right now. And once it fails, we might not be able to go back out. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this. One of the things this realistic racing mod does do is make cars a little bit more fragile in terms of aero parts, but I don't know if it makes the engine parts a bit more susceptible to developing faults or not. It's caused by condition. We can't do anything further than what we're already doing, which is avoiding curves. So let's see if it actually fails. Oh, 4 out of 5. Oh, there we go. It's failed. Right before we got our full 5 out of 5 feedback. So that means we might not be able to go back out again for another run. Which should be a little bit frustrating, but not the end of the world. We can still do our running with the other ERS in the next session. But I was hoping to get through practice without that failing. Or at least get the car to a point where it was set up. Who knows, we might get really lucky. We might actually have nailed the setup first time out. In which case, no harm, no foul. If I get to 2016, will I bring in Haas? I don't know. I haven't decided whether or not I want to, to kick out Marussia or not, because that's the team that I would have to do it with. And then it would be a case of, if I take Caterham out, do I bring in a custom team to replace them? Because obviously we can't bring Cadillac in, 8 years before they turn up on the grid. Well, 10 years before they turn up on the grid. Caterham went out of business in, 2014? So, technically, we should be replacing him for our 3rd year. Our final season. But, we'll probably leave them in. And then, I don't know. It would have been easier if it was the other way around, if the custom team was Mana,
temperatures are
Marushi.
good.
Oh,
Our
yeah, look at that.
temperatures
We
look
have
good.
nailed it. That is brilliant. Who needs an ERS unit? We've got the setup nailed. We will keep him out until he runs out of fuel now. And then maybe we might get lucky and not actually have to run again for the rest of the weekend in practice. Yeah, it would have been easier if Kevin had put Mana as the creator team and Lotus in, or sorry, not Lotus, Caterham. They were at one point Lotus. It would have been easier if Caterham had been in place of Mana, in place of Haas, because then we could take that team out and replace, just do it, give them an extra season for 2015 and then bring Haas in to replace him in 2016, as opposed to having to basically kill the final year of Mana, because they didn't go out of business till the end of 2016. So there is that 1 year overlap, unfortunately. So I don't know yet is the honest answer. Maybe. Maybe not. I'm trying to think who we could put in as a custom team.
Everything okay?
We haven't done a Porsche playthrough yet, have we? We could maybe throw Porsche in as the extra team if we
Yeah,
do bring
copy that.
Haas in, but I don't know if I've got any early Haas liveries, so I'll have to have a look through and see what I can find. I think I've got the Rich Energy one. That was what, 2019? I think. 2018 or 2019. I think it was 2019. Let's have a look at Jensen's feedback. How are we getting on with him? A bit of work needed, 88%. Let's find him and call him in. There we go. Change was 2019. Yeah, because they went to Eurocali for 2020, and then they just ditched the blue and basically just went white and red, didn't they? What about Lamborghini? Lamborghini haven't really had that much of an interest in Formula One ever. I mean, they have been in Formula One here and there, but not for anything more than just a cup of coffee, really. I wonder if they're running the same setup. Let's find out. Eurocali was 21, was it? No, yeah, you're right, yeah. And it was 22 as well, wasn't it? And then very briefly. And then they ditched at the beginning of 22 when war in Ukraine broke out. Or was it in 21 when they ditched? No, it was 22, I'm sure it was. My brain's addled. I'm old. Memory's not what it used to be. Yeah, look, it won't let me send it back out. Even though I've got... let's see, let me put some fuel in the car. Yeah, it won't let me send them out. that broken ERS. Evening, Wayne. Quite sure why Lamborghini have sort of been quite vehemently opposed to being in Formula One. I have a tidy up now that where my glasses cleaning cloth's gone. My glasses case. Right, we've got feedback for Jensen. And a little look-see. Is it any good? It's not far off. 1% off. I overclicked. I were meant to put that on 0.75. So they are running the same setup then, it would look like. Foamy. Doom mongering again, I see. You're determined to see me fired, aren't you? Evening, Micon. There we go. That is the end of first practice. And looks as though we've been able to nail the setup for both cars before the end of P1. Okay. There we go, I can see again. So, Kimi and Grosjean topping the timings there. Interesting. Right. Next up, practice 2. So, we need to sort out this missing ERS that died to death. There we go. It's not in great shape, but it's a lot better than the options that Jensen's got. But his setup is done. We just need a little bit of time on track, and then we are good to go. So, we will give him 15 laps and hope that's enough. And I think we're done with Jensen, but just to confirm, I've definitely gone the right way, because we're going to need both drivers firing on all cylinders tonight. We will send him out for 15 laps as well. I don't think Lambo being owned by Audi is a determining factor. I think it's just, the team has never really had any real interest in Formula One. They ran they ran a team, but not as Lamborghini, for just a cup of coffee in the late 80s, early 90s. And they supplied engines to a couple of teams for a few years, but I think that's it. I think that's their only real spell in Formula One.
And we want to generate some temperature on this.
They've not been back since then. So they've been gone for over 30 years now. Interestingly enough, though some of you may not realise this or remember this, but when McLaren... Hang on. Jensen. Damn it. Do not break the cars.
Okay, copy that.
Oh, all right so far. And the rear just lets go. And there's not much they can do about that now.
Battering over those curves. At least we didn't damage the underfloor. Let's avoid high risk curves. There we go.
Just be mindful of curves.
Oh yes, when McLaren ended their engine partnership with Honda back in the 90s, Senna tested one of the V12 Lamborghini engines in the back of the McLaren, and he loved it. He really wanted it, but they'd already signed an agreement with Peugeot, which did not go well. In fact, that was actually that was after Ford, actually, not after McLaren, after Honda. Or was it the other way around? Was it they signed with Ford and then they went to Peugeot? And the Lamborghini was between Honda and Ford. But they were only with Ford for a couple of seasons, and then they went to Peugeot. But somewhere in that timescale, it's got to be Ford, because Senna never drove the Peugeot, so it's got to be Ford. So yeah, instead of getting the Lamborghini engine that Senna wanted, they ended up getting the Ford engine for '93. And then it wasn't a bad engine, but it certainly wasn't as powerful as the McLaren engine, as the Lamborghini engine. But it was also, I think, more expensive, which is why McLaren went with that option, because at that point they were paying Senna $1 million a race, and they were starting to struggle a little bit financially, having to pay for engines, whereas they'd had free ones from Honda. So we're at 97%, just need a little bit more. And just waiting on that little tweak that we made to Jensen's car. If we went to match Schumacher's setup, and there's a good chance that they'll both be running the same one, but if not, at least I know what the correction is that I need to make. So Jensen will be done either way at the end of this run, assuming he actually makes it to the end of the lap. Just short on Schumacher as well. He needs another couple of laps. Sorry, my Cadillac save. I had the best pit stops. We didn't actually win the pit stop challenge in the last couple of seasons at Cadillac. For whatever reason, our pit crew was good, just not quite consistent enough. And they've not been that great here either. We started the season quite well, but hasn't continued down that vein, and other teams have improved their pit crews faster than we have. It's one of the reasons why I got rid of Sam Michael and brought in Alan Permain to try and start getting good stops again in relation to everybody else. It hasn't quite caught up yet, but we have been improving again. A couple of good stops tonight could be vital, because we are in a fight for third place in the pit crew challenge. Right, there we go. Schumacher 99%. Needs a little bit more. Come on, Schumi. Don't run out of fuel on me. Ah, damn it. I have to do the same with Jensen as well. Look at that, we got him there. Need the feedback before you hit the pits. Come on, come on. Oh, you bastard. I'm going to have to send you back out again. Well, might not need to. We'll see. Depends whether the one bit of feedback that we need is actually covered. It is. There we go. So, yeah, he's good. We can leave him as is. And Schumacher is done. So, we are done with practice for the rest of the weekend. Lovely stuff. Didn't watch my series with AlphaTauri. Oh, I am hurt. I am shocked beyond words. How dare you? Fair enough. It's actually one of the best series we've done. It was just to basically try and stick one on Christian Horner and become the better Red Bull team. And we managed it. And then we resurrected Ferrari at the end of that, so but that was a good series. I do recommend that one. Vettel's car has got a new engine part in it, but Alonso's doesn't yet. I don't want Alonso to get a new engine part now. I want him to have to hang on through qualifying and then it go orange right at the beginning of the Grand Prix. So it gives us a chance to maybe beat him if he has a problem, or even retirement. Van der Garde is just 1,000th off Nico Rosberg's time. It's crazy. Absolutely insane. Like I said, I checked them out last night, and they are the top team now in terms of you know car development. Their team expertise. Most of them are at 100% now. In fact, let me open up a browser window and load it up for you. We'll have a look at that in a second while we are watching everyone run in practice 3.
sessions should be starting now.
There we go. Out they go. And let's bring over the window. Let's load up the auto save because that'll be the most up-to-date part of the save. Let's go to teams. And go down to Caterham. Actually, no, it's not there, is it? It's performance. Yeah, look at that. Look, they're now the top
And
team.
here we've got a yellow flag.
Having been the second worst team, they've climbed so much. And the reason why is their expertise levels. Look at that. 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 99.94%. These are way unrealistic values. We will be changing these for the next season. We will probably have to do the same for quite a few of these other teams as well. Because they're just very inaccurate. I mean, there's no way Caterham should be that good at all. They had some good staff, but they're not that good. So yeah. Oh shit! Alonso's car. Oh no, it's a separate fault. Nope, there we go. It's gone orange. Damn it. That'll be a new engine part for the race. There goes that pipe dream. Somebody's had a wobble. It's Daniel Ricciardo.
Something's happened. Looks like the Alpine.
Oh, he's been hit. He's been hit by a Lotus. That's Raikkonen, I think.
Has to be said, that was pretty risky.
Actually, no, that
I
might
don't
be
think there's a
Grosjean.
lot of
No, that
doubt
is
as to
Raikkonen.
which
That's
car
Kimi
came
Raikkonen.
off worse there.
Yeah. Let's see the damage to Kimi's car. Ricardo's out. We might actually hear from Ricardo. Nope, apparently not. And Raikkonen's going to carry on. Minus a good chunk of the wing. That's a penalty. 3 seconds. Sorry, 3 places. With Raikkonen into pits, that might be the last time we see him now this session. Ricardo was a good driver, but he was very rigid in his driving style. And oh no, Raikkonen is back out. Look. And the McLaren never ever suited his style. You know, he liked a car like the Red Bull with a high rake, pointy front end. The Renault was quite similar in its kind of handling characteristics, and while it wasn't a great car, he was able to do quite well with it. But the McLaren was just nothing like what he was used to driving, and he was never able to adapt his style. I wouldn't say he was average. I mean, he absolutely destroyed Vettel in 2014 when they were teammates. So we have a penalty for Raikkonen going into qualifying. Nobody else has penalties yet, but we have seen Alonso and Vettel take on new engine components. That may be something that triggers a 10-place penalty. I don't know. I don't know if the AI actually has the 6 engines, gearboxes, and ERSs that we were supposed to get but didn't get. We'll see. If they have got those and we don't, I'll be absolutely pissed. Right. Next up then is qualifying.
Qualifying is coming up, and the drivers will be ready and raring to go.
The ups and downs of Interlagos mean a full-speed qualifying lap can be hard on both driver and car. Sector 2's technical corners demand high downforce to make a quick lap.
Let's talk about Mercedes for a moment, Karun. Where's their driver going to be at right now?
Well, neither teammate has really managed to score well so far. Perhaps picking up a few points this weekend would spur on a bit of healthy rivalry.
Well, we're certainly ready in the commentary box. The drivers are getting ready down in the pit lane, and it's time for qualifying.
All right, all important qualifying for our final Grand Prix. Let's get the good bits onto the car, shall we? So, best engine available is that one. That's the only ERS we have available, and that's the only gearbox we have available. So, very easy to sort out Schumacher's car. Jensen's car, we've got another 79% engine, and that's the second best ERS, but not by much. Expecting to maybe get some issues with Jensen. And gearbox, we've got a really good gearbox. So, right, let's see how well we can qualify here. Track temperature is still 48 degrees. Going to cool down a little bit. Let's get out and do an early lap. At the very least, we should be able to get the tyres at the temperature quickly. Because it is quite a short circuit, so that can sometimes make it a little tricky to get the tyres in the window. Van der Gaard's gone out, so we'll instantly find out just how quick that Caterham's going to be. And Sauber coming out as well. And Normally I wouldn't say this, but that's going to be quite a good benchmark for us to judge ourselves against, is the Sauber.
Warm the tyres where you can.
Is this the last race? It's the last race of this season. We'll ride with Jensen. This is the Jensen button cap from 2013.
Good gap in front.
And you're good to open the lap.
We're going to carry on regardless. But yeah, hopefully we'll be still with McLaren next season. .0. That's not that quick. Mind you, I haven't said that. I'm basing that on 26 speeds, so maybe it's not too bad. We are quicker than Van der Garde and Hulkenberg. Schumacher with a 19.0 as well. Gutierrez and Maldonado hitting the track as well now. .34.8 in the middle. Van der Garde 34.7. Yeah, the middle sector is where we're going to be weakest, I think. Hulkenberg did a 35.0. 16.0 across the line. And we did get pipped by 2.5 tenths. Schumacher slightly slower than Jensen, slightly quicker than Hulkenberg. Yeah, only slightly in the end, 25 thousandths quicker. So, a points finish here today might be enough to save our job. Last couple of races where we've had a satisfied, we finished in 9th with just the one car running. So, a points finish could be enough to save our job. Might not be, but keeping my fingers crossed. And with the wet weather, we've got a pretty good wet weather driver in Jensen. I think his wet weather skill in this is not good enough because the adaptability rating only really kicks in when those conditions are in that little changeover window between the tyre sets. So Schumacher should be max at 99, just because he's, he was a legend in the wet.
Pit lane speed limiter.
But he won't. But he isn't.
Stop on the marks.
And Jensen should be pretty high up there as well, because he had this incredible ability. He wasn't necessarily amazingly quick in the wet, but he was incredible at judging the conditions and knowing exactly when to change the tyres. That was his super strength in the wet, was knowing exactly when to be on which set of tyres. There we go, prepped for another run. Gutierrez goes second. Out goes Houghton and Vettel. Raikkonen starting his lap. He's got that penalty. That is locked up. on his flying lap. So that will be an abandoned lap now. I don't think he'll carry on. Yeah, he's abandoned that lap. I can't believe Liverpool sacked Slot today. Just kind of shocked. Really, I thought he would have had another season. Liverpool are supposed to have been, at least in recent years, a bastion of stability in terms of managers. They gave Klopp a lot of time because Klopp didn't do a lot in his first couple of seasons. Yeah, we got to a couple of cup finals, but kept losing them. But yeah, league form was terrible. It just hasn't quite worked out this year for Liverpool. The death of Jota in pre-season will have been a huge blow to the team.
And drive straight out,
Salah and Van Dijk have both been a shadow of themselves this season. Konate's form took a nosedive. I think the signing of Alexander Isak was a mistake. I don't think we needed him. And we definitely needed to sign Mark Gay, and we didn't get him. But I'm surprised that Wirtz didn't settle in as well as I expected him to. I thought, first couple of months might be a little bit, and then he would settle in, because the Bundesliga is, in terms of physicality and style, is probably the closest top European league to the Premier League. So I thought his transition into English football would be a little bit easier than we've seen with some European players in the past. But we've seen flashes of brilliance from him, but we haven't seen consistency from him. Ekitike has been great.
That'll be P6.
But,
Okay, that's a good lap. If you could keep your pace up.
Like I said, I don't think we needed Isak. We've got a yellow flag. Jensen has not improved.
Okay, there are yellows ahead.
Schumacher is improving. Rosberg goes up to third. If you're going to do a Ligier, it's got to be the 96 Ligier, because that's the one that actually won a Grand Prix in Monaco, the Monaco that nobody wanted to finish. Schumacher improves ahead of Button by 0.005 of a second. I mean, if you're going to do one in sort of the end times of Ligier, but they're around since the 70s, so you could do one of many different liveries.
Pit lane speed limiter on. Stop in front of our garage.
Evening, Adam. PSG winning 5-4. team does Daniel drive for? What, Daniel Ricciardo, who drives for Toro Rosso. This was the year before he moved to Red Bull to replace Mark Webber. Sharpeak up to second place in that ridiculously quick Caterham. Here comes Kimi, having aborted his first run, looking to set a proper time. And he goes to P2. Comes Hulkenberg. Webber, Bottas and Bianchi also on a flying lap right now. A lot of cars on in laps at the moment. Hulkenberg improves to P12 and splits our two drivers. Does an identical time to Schumacher. Schumacher set the time first. Yankee goes to P19. Let's see what Webber does. Webber goes top. Here comes Valtteri. And he's only good enough for P19. Did not have a good middle sector there. Going to go out one more time on the scrub tyres. Might not improve. I think there's a little bit of life left in them. So we've got Verne out on a lap and Hamilton on a lap. Ricciardo getting ready to start a lap. He's just coming up to Junção now. So Verne improves to P18. Comes Hamilton up to the line. He lost a bit too much time in the middle sector. He stays P7. No improvements. Right. Let's see if Jensen can do something.
Let's go.
Hopefully beat it all into turn 4. We do, but it will not be as easy for Schumacher. Found a slight improvement, Jensen hasn't. Clunky. Thread the needle there. Middle little split for Jensen. No improvement. I think Jensen's out. Well, not out, but I think Jensen's he's not going to improve.
You are currently P14. You'll say that.
Schumacher unable to improve either. So now we play the waiting game. Here comes De Resta. Does not improve. Satil is done. Keep an eye on Massa. But unless both Williams drivers suddenly spring into life, I think we're safe.
Speed limiter.
Stop in front of the garage.
Right, both Williams now into the final turns. Right, racing towards the line to start their lap. Bottas will get a tow behind Maldonado. Alonso moves up to P3. Massa in trouble here. Might not find an improvement. I mean, he should be safe, but if the Williams drivers can suddenly find a huge amount of pace, Massa might be out. He finds a 10th. But he's down in 15th place. Is Massa going to have a bad weekend today? That would certainly help us out. Rosberg getting in the way. Gets out of the way. They're down on Massa. I don't think they're going to get him. I don't think they're going to get De Resta. Yeah, this track used to be quite a bit older. It used to be quite a bit bigger. It used to be that the track came down and around this way, and then it came back up, and then came down and around this way, and then looped back up and then around like that, if memory serves. In fact, let me see if I can find an old image. We have made it through. It is Maldonado, Bottas, Verne, Satil, Bianchi and Chilton out at the end of Q1. We'll take a quick break, get ready for Q2, and I'll see if I can find that old circuit image. Welcome back. There is the older version. So you can see here where the chicane was put in at the end here, and then it would come down here. This is how the track goes now. It comes down here, and then there's turn 4. Comes up this way, and then from here goes across. And at this point, it then goes there on a slightly inside line, and then links up, and that becomes the circuit. But in the olden days, yeah, we had that long sort of double sweep around the edge, and then it would kind of double back on itself and then run this little bit here in reverse before hitting the infield, and then coming around and then looping back up and connecting up to where the circuit is now. Very much a very different circuit in the old days. I do sometimes wonder whether or not we would ever be in a position to go back and run that again, but I think it's not going to happen anymore. It's kind of interesting though, I think, maybe, if that old layout still existed, because it's mostly gone now. But if the old layout still existed, it would have been interesting to see modern cars running on it, I think. Right, Q2. Let's start on the scrub tyres just to get a base time on the board, and that will give us a couple of runs on fresh tyres.
Sessions should be starting now.
Warm the tyres where you can.
It's like Monza. Monza was another track that was twice as long as it is now. Well, maybe not twice as long, but had that huge oval section where the track kind of looped around itself. And then, of course, you've got other tracks that have been chopped up quite significantly. Spa is a very different circuit now to what it used to be. We used to race at the Nordschleife. That no longer
And drive straight out, drive
is,
straight out. The track will be clear.
is a Formula One track.
You're
It's
good to
not
open
safe
the
enough.
lap.
And too long as well. I'm trying to think what other circuits have been chopped over the years. And we've got some potential traffic here for Schumacher. He should hopefully get clear. Don't get in the way, please, Fernando. Don't get in the way. Whew. Okay, Schumacher's slightly quicker than Jensen in the opening sector. It's a 1:10.008 for Jensen. Let's see what Schumacher can do. Ricciardo is definitely going quicker than us. Again, we're on old tyres, so I'm not expecting stellar times here. But a 1:09.8, it's not too bad. Gets both of our drivers up into peak confidence, which was the important thing. And now we can attack with brand new tyres and high confidence levels. Hulkenberg does to finish his lap off. He goes to P2. We're only 3/10 away, which, considering the tyres were, you know, shot when we left the pits, that's not too far off. As we get out of the way of Fernando. And Webber coming through just behind as well. Nip and tuck with Alonso, isn't it?
Pit limiter. Stop on the mark.
Alonso goes top. Webber just misses out. 44 thousandths of a second. That's easily going to be good enough to get him through. Let's see what Seb gets up to as we put on a brand new set of soft tyres. Purple in the middle sector. Just the last corner. It's not really, it's more of a kink, isn't it? A little kink up to the line. But he is a tenth off in the end. Just a little slower in the first and third sectors. Massa's middle sector is horrible, look, at 36.1, nearly 2 seconds slower than Vettel. And his final sector is compromised by a Caterham starting its lap as well. So Massa ends up, actually, no, he may even have actually got a little bit of a toe there. It was quicker than Peak in the final sector, but slightly quicker than Vettel as well. Vettel did a 16.0. But he is 1.8 seconds off the pace. Van der Gar's just gone purple in sector 1. Sector. This will put him up there. Further away than I thought, and 3/10 slower than teammate Peak. But both Caterhams looking quick again. There's Rosberg peeling out behind us as we're leaving the pits behind Raikkonen. Now we'll send out Schumacher as well. This will give us time for another run if we don't get up to much on this one, or if we get blocked somewhere.
And we want to generate some temperature for this outlap.
Let's go.
Yeah, when it was the Österreich ring, it was probably about twice the length that it is now. You can still actually see some of that on the satellite. Not a good first sector for Jensen. A 19.1 actually slower. Schumacher gets past Hamilton without too much. Oh, Wayne, thank you. That's very generous of you. I tip my hat, sir. Not a bad middle sector for Jensen. He is not quick enough to get into the top 10.
12.
Can Schumacher do it? Don't know. It's going to be tight. We've got to find nearly 3/10. Ah, dear. Yeah, I think we're going out in Q2. Unfortunately. So let's commiserate by looking at the A1 ring. So yeah, this is like the short circuit in blue, and then we've got the actual circuit coming up here, and then we've got turn 3 just here, and then turn 4, turn 5, turn 6, 7, 8 and 9, well, so it's 7 and 8, and then turn 9 here, and turn 10 here. And you can see this blue line here is the old outline through there, and then it went to a little chicane here, and you can see the outline of the old circuit here. And then it would cut back up here and then go to a little loop around here, and then it would loop around.
Remember the pit lane speed
here
limiter.
and come back around like that,
Stop in
and
front of
then
our
join
garage.
back in that way, and then just go past the current turn off for a slightly different profile end of the lap. So yeah, it was probably about twice the length. That's definitely a circuit that has been chopped in half. Desperately need to find something. Oh, oh, oh. Is that a Ferrari making a mistake? It was.
Now we should be able to take a look here. Now this happens down at turn 8.
He's on his in lap by the look of it, I think.
The wheels just lock up there. Now they did leave it very late.
Where is Massa? Yeah, I think that's his in lap. All right, send that Jensen. Have a little gap, and then we'll send that Schumacher. Gutierrez on an improved lap. That's not good. Where's he going to go? He goes to 10th. He knocks out Ricardo, who is leaving the pits right now. There he is. There is Ricardo, leaving the pits to have another go. Hulkenberg is about to start his flying lap. Van der Garde is in trouble. He might well find himself getting pushed out the top 10 here, and I don't think we're going to be able to get in the top 10, let alone stay in the top 10. Grosjean and Di Resta looking to improve. Grosjean's just gone purple in the middle sector. Di Resta's not having a great lap, but Grosjean's going to get a toe up to the line.
Let's go.
This should be enough to get him through. He goes purple in the final sector as well, and he goes top by 0.3 of a second. Di Resta is out. Gutierrez is out. Schumacher and Button now trying to get through. Get past Di Resta. No, it wasn't. No, it was. It was called Di Resta. Schumacher's got a little bit of traffic. What is that? Shit, that's Grosjean, isn't it? Damn it. Got Raikkonen behind us. That might compromise Schumacher's chances. Button with an okay middle sector. Yeah, Schumacher's done. He's toast. 0.4 lost in the middle. So it's all down to Jensen. And Jensen's only good enough for P14, and he's a second off the pace. Oh boy, this is going to be a tough one. I didn't expect us to have great pace, but I was hoping we would start maybe sort of 11th or 12th, maybe 13th, 14th and 15th. That's bad, because it's a wet race, which means it's going to be even harder than normal to overtake around what is ordinarily quite a difficult circuit to actually overtake on with realistic racing. It's going to be next to impossible here. All right, let's see who sticks it on pole. It's Raikkonen, but he's got a 3-place penalty. So it'll be Alonso starting on pole, assuming that Alonso doesn't have an engine penalty for a new engine part. Then it's Rosberg, Grosjean. Then it'll be Raikkonen. Van der Garde will start in P5. Wow. Massa in P6. 7th for Webber. 8th for Vettel. 9th for Hamilton. Peak in 10th. Then Gutierrez, Ricardo, Hulkenberg, Button, Schumacher, Di Resta, Maldonado, Bottas, Verne, Sutil, Bianchi, and Chilton. That's your grid. Let's see if there are any last-minute changes.
There's a terrific atmosphere here in Interlagos as the drivers prepare for 71 laps of scintillating action.
Brazil loves a home racer, and none more so than the brilliant Ayrton Senna. His victory here at Interlagos in 1991, fighting a broken gearbox, is one of the most emotional moments in F1 history.
Interlagos Sector 2 is a maze of twists and turns, demanding the highest downforce. Sectors 1 and 3 are high speed, however, giving drivers plenty to keep them busy around this thrilling track. It's race day, with the teams and drivers ready and raring to go.
Let's take a little look at the amended grid. Is it just that one penalty for Raikkonen to be applied? He drops down to 4th. And that is the only penalty. So, we're starting on inters, and it looks like we're staying on inters the whole way through. Let's take a look at the actual track graph. Yeah, may just dip into DRS activation here. Look at the water level. It's going to start at 4 mil, but it's going to fall away pretty quickly. So Inters is definitely going to be the tyre to start on. It's not going to be sustainable to start on wets. Hopefully, Schumacher and Button's reasonably good wet weather skill in this game will be enough to get us a good launch while we're in this sort of weird crossover period between wets and inters. I wonder if anyone's actually going to start on wets. That would make things interesting if they do. I hope they do, because they'll be quick for a lap or two and then they would start to drop away a bit. So we are prepped and ready. The start of the Brazilian Grand Prix and the season finale is next.
Final checks are being carried out by the teams, and it won't be long until we get this race underway.
Looking for blue rings. I'm not
the
seeing
RB
any.
driver has got a lot of people talking.
Not a huge surprise to see them in 19th, but they've certainly got the potential to move up from here.
And it looks like we're good to go. Who will win? Only time will tell. Here at the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Alright, need a good start. And we're busy fighting with each other. Don't hit each other. Please don't hit each other. Oh, this is nervy. This is
How is the
nervy.
track condition?
I don't like it when they're side by side like this. There we go. Woo! Okay. Now I can put them into a more aggressive overtake. Oh dear. If I had to watch someone dance, would it be the guys from Take That or Bez from the Happy Mondays?
Nice to get past.
Well, Take That was a typical pretentious pop dancing. And I don't really think you can call what Bez did dancing. Basically just jumped up and down on the spot. I doubt Bez got paid that much. I think Bez basically did it for drugs and alcohol and a little bit of pocket change. difficult circuit to overtake on in these conditions. Yeah, winning money on Big Brother doesn't really count as a dancing career, does it? Right, well, we're stuck. Yeah, Sean Ryder would definitely have had the lion's share of the money, but I don't know if he would have had that much money either. Oh, someone he just wrecked. Oh, it's two cars. It's Hamilton and Webber.
Safety car deployed.
That's
Recharge
two
on.
cars in front of us.
Make sure the delta stays
Out.
positive.
Here we are then looking at turn 12. Barely any room to manoeuvre.
It's going to be a lockup from Hamilton.
The
It's got to be.
cars coming together right there. A bitter blow too for more than one driver from the pack. And look at the team there. They all knew what that moment meant.
Yeah, that meant we get 2 steps closer to survival. That's what that meant. Safety car out then.
Pick clear air if you can.
There's Maldonado. There's a few places behind us. So that is a penalty for Lewis, which will carry over to next season. Or at least it should do. It's not going to be dry enough for it to come off the inters. It's not even going to get close, look. Maybe briefly here it'll get down to about a 0.8 or a 0.7, but not long enough to make it worth switching tyres. It's going to be inters all the way through. I never actually checked the fuel levels on the circuit, but it doesn't really matter. We're going to be in positive fuel for most of this race. We will slowly burn it off, but if we get a long safety car or multiple safety cars, we're going to end up overfueled.
Rain here is lighter now.
Right, I imagine we'll go racing on the next lap. Tyre temps back under control. Gained 1.5 kilos of fuel. Batteries are back to being full.
Pack is high.
It would be nice to pick somebody off on the restart, but I don't think it's going to happen. Everyone's going to be pushing. We should find out if we're going racing in a second. So we might have another lap then. Yeah, another lap. Good, because the longer the safety car goes on, the harder it's going to be to burn all of this fuel off. Good, Mike. We're making up for the fact I didn't stream Thursday. This was really let Button through. He's better in the rain. No, he's not. We talked about this about half an hour ago. Jensen had a really, really good understanding of the changing conditions, but in pure wet conditions like this, Schumacher much quicker. Yeah, I mean that's what I just said. I mean he had the feel to know when to change the tyres in changing conditions. That was his superpower. But in straight wet weather, when there was no question about which tyre was the right tyre to be on, he was a good wet racer, but he wasn't a great wet racer. We are going again. Another safety car lap. Now going to be close to 3.5 kilos over fuel at the end of this lap. not worth it. Are we finally going racing? Yes, we are. About time. Alright, it's a short run for the line, so let's get this prepped up properly before we get back underway again.
Safety car in pit entry now. No overtaking.
Ah, someone's locked up. Van der Garde and Massa. Is that going to be a red? No, they're going again. But Gutierrez might be involved in that as well.
We've got a yellow flag here.
Whew. Dramatic start to the Brazilian Grand Prix. Oh my God. Poor Massa. Got clobbered twice.
Now we can see what happened. So here we go, heading into turn one. And round they spin. And ultimately, just unable to bring the car under control.
So Van der Garde has got big front wing damage, but he's got a little bit of a cushion because we've got another yellow flag. Valtteri has made a mistake. Is that a lockup? Yeah, a big lockup for Valtteri.
There. Now this was Valtteri Bottas. Things were going smoothly. And there goes the steering. And they'll need to be mindful of the effect that that had on the tyres.
So yeah, Van der Garde's got major problems with his car, but he's got a big cushion at the moment. Hulkenberg's now developed a fault.
But it looks like they're carrying some kind of fault.
Crofty, no help to us whatsoever there. Let's take a look at Gutierrez's car. He's got a hole in the rear wing. But given that we're not going to have DRS, it's going to be less of an issue. Van der Garde's got a 5-second penalty to be added on at his pit stop. What's the damage to Massa's car? Front wing damage, and that's just a glitch on the rear wing. That is actually still there. It's just doing that weird glitch where if the car takes a little bit of a whack in the wrong place, it will glitch out part of that rear wing. Now Massa's got an issue. There's no point clicking because we won't hear what it is. No voice lines for Massa. We've all heard enough of Crofty, I think. That's a more serious issue. My guess is because he got a big whack on the back of the car that there's something seriously wrong with one of those engine components. We've taken a big bite out of one of them. I'm going to have a gander in a second and see if we can investigate that. And let's see if we can maybe get Schumacher off place. Completely run out of battery. And that's Massa into the pits.
Pack is low.
Ah, no, damn it. Pressed the wrong thing. That's what I meant to do. I don't know what he changed now. He really changed his front wing, I'm guessing. Let's see. I didn't even see how long his stop was. My guess is a new front wing.
Make sure we get the pack back.
And that's Gutierrez in. That puts us in the points. Quick turnaround for Gutierrez. Can't do anything about that rear wing. So if I was Caterham, I would be telling Van der Gaard to pull over and let Pete through, but the AI doesn't do team orders. So let's hope the Van der Gaard holds his teammate up. Let's see if we can get our way past Hulkenberg now that we've got a little bit of battery. Massa.
But the car's definitely not happy.
Another
Surely
fault for
some
Massa.
kind of fault.
Massa down in 20th place.
Well done, good job. Hulkenberg ahead.
And with two separate faults now. Button gets back ahead of the Resta. Good job, Jensen. Putting in the work.
Okay, maximum pace.
Schumacher getting very aggressive in defence there. Oh, he's still in driving clean air. No wonder I turned that off. There we go. It's better. Sort that pace back out now. That's why he was so erratic. Should start to pull away from Hulkenberg now. So P9, P11. We are on course so far to potentially save our job here. It'd be nice if we can get a little bit further up. We know that Van der Garde has got that big penalty. And he is holding up his teammate. He is very much slower with that missing front wing.
I'll let you know. Yeah, we've got that in the data.
So that's going to be the battery playing up now for Jensen.
There! Oh dear, that's not what they need right.
I knew that was likely to happen. And we can't fix that. So Jensen's battery is going to die in this Grand Prix.
Stay off the curbs.
That won't stop him from running. It just means he won't run very well. Have to cool the engine down just a touch.
Suggest increased LICO.
Hope that we can maybe, just maybe, keep that thing alive. Let's see if we can get past Hulkenberg.
Okay to close the gap.
Before we do lose
Use
it.
the overtake button.
Because then we can just park the bus with Jensen.
Suggest reduce a bit, lift and coast.
What a run.
Pack is low.
The reduced output is not helping though.
Maximum PU cooling.
Get him. Yes.
Recharge on is good.
Your recharge on is good.
All right, there we go. So
Here's the replay. The opportunity begging
we've got
to be
him
taken.
into the top 10. And the fact that Hulkenberg has a minor issue
And the
with his
McLaren there
powertrain
with a
means that we
beautiful
might
manoeuvre.
actually be able to keep him behind without too much of an issue. But at the very least, we should be able to slow down everyone behind us a little bit now. Give Schumacher a little bit more of an opportunity to open up a bit of a gap to the cars behind us. Try and harvest a little bit of battery for a couple of laps of Schumacher. I want to try and get him to push past Ricciardo and Van der Garde. See, Peak has got through and has already left his teammate miles behind, but he's 10.5 seconds off the back of Vettel, so the damage has already been done. Kind of stuck in dirty air at the moment, which is why we've got the harvesting going on. We're not going any further forward as things currently stand. Right, let's go back to Jensen's avoid high-risk curbs.
No
Cool
curbs.
the engine down and just hope we can try and keep the engine alive,
Lift off end of
or
straight.
the battery alive. Reduced output is better than no output. And we're not going to get past Ricciardo until we get past Van der Garde. So we may as well make the best of this situation. Hockenberg's car's getting worse now.
And as far as we can tell, they've got a fault with the car.
Right, engine temp has cooled down. That will help. So now it's just condition, because we've got the engine temp back under control and we are avoiding curves. My internal clock is all over the place at the moment. Start having breakfast with the amount of waffles from Crofty. The downside to this DLC is that because a lot of the drivers don't have audio, we end up hearing a lot in David Croft. Right, we're going to try and punch through, because otherwise we could be stuck here for ages. Hoping that Ricciardo's kind of burnt out his battery over the last few laps. Try and take the inside line. There we go. Should now hopefully be able to get straight past Van der Garde as well. Lovely stuff. Up to P7. going to keep pushing. Try and break away from the pair of them. New fastest lap for Alonso, immediately beaten by Rosberg. Track is drying up a bit, down to 1.5 mil, but should theoretically be getting worse any moment. Has just slightly crept back up again. We are out of battery, but we've opened up a 2-second gap, and we have the fastest lap. Lovely stuff.
You could start pushing.
Alright, she's pulling away.
Recharge you on, please.
Pulling away from Hulkenberg quite nicely.
Tyre feedback when you can.
Battery doesn't seem to want to hold any charge at all. It's reduced output, not reduced input. Reduced charge rate. Yeah. So the output's still the same, it's just there's less battery coming in. My body clock's in two separate minds at the moment. It thinks I'm either getting I'm getting earlier nights than I've had, but I'm not sleeping long stretches, so I'm still waking up early in the morning, which I'm not used to. And even if I have a nap in the afternoon, a little siesta, I'm still finding myself yawning like crazy around this time of the night, and I don't know why that's suddenly kicking in. Never used to be a major issue. But the heat wave really did throw my my sleep pattern completely out of whack. Right, we're going to look at maybe trying to get an undercut. No, this is with Schumacher anyway, not with Jensen. New fastest lap for Fernando Alonso. If things finish like this, we should be safe in our job. Should be. Again, we don't know how much of an impact not being able to complete the season objective will have. It's been a little warmer again today. It's been up in like 25, 26 degrees again today. And whenever it's hot around here, there's never a breeze either. So you just get warm, stale air everywhere. But it should cool off quite considerably around this part of the country next week. I think it's predicted to be. Look, let me open up the weather forecaster. So yeah, we're looking at a high of 21 tomorrow, then 19 for the first half of the week, 18 and 19 for the second half of the week. Went downstairs to meet the postie this morning. Well, I say this morning. Yeah, no, I suppose it was this morning, wasn't it? And it was quite hot outside. Oh, Massa with another issue. Is this a potential retirement?
Well, yeah, right. It certainly looks like they've developed a fault.
No, it's not. Maybe that second issue he has has come back, or maybe that's escalated up. Oh no, yeah, I've got fans running. I've got 3 drafts set up, but they'll only exhaust so much heat. And when you've got a PC throwing out, heat at like 60 to 70 degrees, and a 55-inch TV throwing out all the heat that throws out, and a 43-inch TV throwing out all that heat, and then maybe the PS5 on top of that as well, depending on whether I'm watching a Blu-ray. Yeah, it gets quite toasty in here. And I'm in I'm on the top floor, so all the heat from the rest of the house rises up as well. This does not help. I'm just going to leave
Recharge
battery in neutral. There's no point going into harvest, because we're not really saving any battery at all. And as a result, I'm going to stop avoiding curves as well, because again, if we're not really able to charge the battery up to the point where we can actually get a lap's worth of use out of it, and we're getting tiny little increments, then we may as well just not bother with that at all.
We can use the pace now.
We're close enough behind Van der Gaard, and might be lapping slightly quicker than him now that we've upped Jensen's pace a little bit. We might get up to the back of him. I don't think without a battery we're going to be able to overtake him. But he's got that 5-second penalty. So as long as we can stay relatively close and then get a clean stop when we make our stop, we'll jump him in the pits. We're almost in range to do that. about 5 seconds or so behind him. Closing in on the halfway point of this Grand Prix. Still a fair old bit to go. We may possibly get a little splash of DRS later in the race. Let's see if our track map has updated. Yeah, somewhere around here, around towards lap 50, we may possibly get a little bit of DRS, but not enough to justify putting slicks on. And then we're going to have to be careful because the tyres will definitely overheat in this final stint here.
We are ready for you.
Let's use and abuse the tyres now.
Okay, maximum pace now.
Jensen, when he boxes, let's see where he's likely to come out. Behind Valtteri, but ahead of Gutierrez, I think. It'll be tight with Gutierrez. We'll see how we do over the next couple of laps. Schumacher will come out somewhere around the Resta, I think. Evening, Pedro. What's his best result? Who? What's whose best result? Fights for us to pay a massive load of attention to. I mean, Ricciardo is still stuck behind Van der Garde and his damaged car. Oh, that's a point. Yeah, we don't need to be within 5 seconds because he's going to have a 5 seconds penalty and then a wing change at his stop as well. So he's going to have like a 13-second stop. So we only really need to be within some, inside 10 seconds of him to get ahead of him in the pits. Vettel is closest. Yeah, this is a potential actual fight. That Massa getting lapped. Verne is close to the back of Sutil. Looks like he's trying to line him up. Doesn't have a lunge into turn one. And Rosberg's in. That is earlier than I was expecting from one of the leaders to box. is Schumacher. Not even going to be close to getting ahead of him. We are going to be in for our stops very soon now. And Van der Gaard's in. So this is going to be a slow pit stop. 5-second penalty and then a wing change. We can go a while yet. We'll ignore that for now. Out comes the pit crew. Adrian Sutil coming in as well. Oh wow, is this a 10-second penalty? And they didn't change the wing. They don't have a spare wing. So Van der Gaard's out of the equation. Fantastic. To think about boxing our drivers soon, but I don't want to go too soon while we're still pulling out time on the cars behind us. Schumacher will now come out behind Button but ahead of Di Resta, I think. Let's see, that's a 17 23-second gap. Yeah, we should just about get out in front of Di Resta. Vern's coming in. I'm going to box Schumacher on his next lap. I don't want to leave the undercut to chance. And we will let the serve, keeping track position rather than having to fight our way back ahead again. Let's do the same for Jensen. Let's get him in on the next lap as well. And that's Grosjean in from second place. And Raikkonen as well. So, Lotus are going to double stack their cars here. And they adjust that very nicely indeed. Good stops for both cars there. Schumacher will briefly get ahead of Raikkonen. There goes Schumacher. Ricciardo's in the pits. So yeah, we do need to stop at the end of this lap coming up so we can cover off Ricciardo. Good, solid stop there. Looks like he's going to come out behind Valtteri. That's good. Hopefully Valtteri will slow him down a little bit. He's just ahead. There's Valtteri. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. He stays ahead for now. Right, into the pits then for Schumacher. As we hit the halfway point, lap 36. Technically, lap 36 and a half is the halfway point. 2.4-second stop. It's not bad. It's not
Rain in
great.
pit lane, be careful, stopping on the mark.
Don't know if that'll be good enough for points. Here comes Jensen. Schumacher will be out ahead of De Resta, so Schumacher won't actually lose any time at all, I think. 2.4-second stop for Button as well. We are going to come out behind Ricciardo again. Come out behind Valtteri as well, by the look of it, who has not been able to close Ricciardo down. Alonso's in from the lead. And Schumacher out in P7. Where he was when he boxed. Not the best stop there. As in comes Charles Pic. So let's get a few cars into the pits now.
Okay, keep looking after the time.
That's Chilton also in the pits, a lap behind the Caterham. Right, so this is where we're going to start to have some problems because our battery isn't harvesting. It's going to fail at some point.
We don't
I'm
want to
almost
lose too
certain of
much
that.
time.
But can we actually manage to overtake Jensen? Or are we going to have to sit behind him until he boxes? We might possibly be able to do this. Tire's getting a little hot, but that's okay.
Still plenty of opportunities.
Bottas might do us a solid and dive in the pits. He doesn't.
Next car is Bottas. 0.9. No hop done.
It's going to be our cornering speed that's going to make the difference. Those fresh tyres. And as I say, the lack of battery is going to make actually getting alongside to overtake very tricky. We're going to close up into a corner and then not have the acceleration coming out of it to do anything about it. Ooh, yellow flag. Hulkenberg's made a mistake. Gone off somewhere behind
There's
us.
a yellow flag now.
It's definitely coming up Jim Bob.
Up there.
Maldonado's into the pits. That will get him out of our way. We're still going to deal with Valtteri, but he might be in on the next lap now. His teammates in this lap.
0.7.
There's
Get a good exit.
opportunities here.
Get a good exit. Get the slipstream. Go for the move on the braking zone.
Pick clear air if you can.
Look after the tyres while I was stuck. How far behind the rest are we? About 11, 12 seconds. About 12 seconds or so. So we can get ahead of the rester. We've got to get past Valtteri. So we're 2 cars ahead of us to box. That means we're on for a P9.
Left to play for.
Vandergaard's closing in. This is a little bit of a worry. That's Hulkenberg into the pits. Here we go. We might actually get him. No! Oh, damn it, Jensen. Wait, am I still in full-on defense mode? Yes, I am. I was going to say I might need to turn that off, but I can't risk it with Vandergaard right there as well. It's funny how the track is damp but still insanely hot. Yeah.
Opportunities ahead.
Track temperature's based, I think, on just the general climate conditions they program in, and Brazil's always quite a hot place, even when it's wet. Stays out.
Use the pace now.
Ah, no. That's what I was worried about.
I think there's still opportunities here.
This is why I wanted to get past him quickly.
You are currently P12.
Rosberg leads from Vettel. Side by side right now. Rosberg shuts the move down. Alonso in third. Valtteri finally peels off into the pits, but the damage is done. Vandergaard has taken the place from us, and I don't know if we'll be able to get it back.
Deep breath. You're going to be okay.
Still have 2.5 kilos of spare fuel as the rest is into the pits. We go through. Satil will probably get him as well here. We'll be tight. Here he comes. And gets on through. Seb into the pits as well. Fresh set of inters for Sebastian Vettel. Last of the front runners to box. In fact, the last car to box. He's gone quite a long time on those tyres. Could mean he'll be very quick here. Now he'll have the chance to get up to speed. He'll come under a little bit of pressure temporarily, very temporarily, from Charles-Pic. There he is. But I think as soon as Vettel's got those tyres up to temperature, and then maybe even before then, he'll just into the distance. Take a quick 2-minute break in a second, go and splash some cold water on my face and grab a drink out the fridge. Turn the fan on a bit higher. Just make it a bit brighter in here as well. Let's see if that helps wake me up a bit more. I just realised my webcam's off. Yeah, there we go. That's been quite good. I've been yawning like crazy. So, am I a spaghetti or curry? I don't have either very often. I quite like a spaghetti. I like I love chicken korma. I don't mind a tikka masala every now and again, but I'm not very good with spicy food. So Jensen's pace is struggling. We're about to get lapped here by Fernando Alonso, I think. Or is that us having put a lap on Massa? Well, that's Massa. We put a lap on Felipe. I'm going to go back into always defend. Shepherd's pie or Goth's pie? Again, rarely ever have either. It's been a couple of years since I had either, so before then, not that frequently. I have a korma probably at least once a month. Trying to scrape my Tesco shopping list or something. Right, we have almost a pit stop in hand over Ricciardo, which is quite a nice little cushion to have. Jensen's pace is starting to pick back up a little bit. see them closing in. Look, Sutil, Di Resta, Gutierrez. Actually, no, not Gutierrez. That's Massa, and behind Massa is Bianchi. And then behind those two is the leaders, Rosberg and Alonso. Senna or Schumacher is a tough one, because I was a big fan of both drivers. I got to see Schumacher drive a lot longer than I got to see Senna drive. That was a 50-50 for me, I think. I mean, maybe slightly in Senna's favour, but again, I got to see very little of Senna's career, unfortunately. So I got to see Schumacher's entire career. From his debut in Spa in '91 to his retirement at the end of 2012. I missed most of Senna's career. I started sort of watching Senna sort of 88, 89. So I missed those early years when he was at Tolman and then Lotus. Because those races were just never on TV. We've got a problem for Kimi Räikkönen. Just a minor fault at the moment. There'll always be a what if Senna didn't pass away, would Schumacher have gone on to dominate? I think he still might have won the '94 championship. I mean, that early Williams was not a great car in '93. It improved a bit as the season... Sorry, in '94. It improved as the season went on a little bit, but '94 was not a great car at all. '95 was better, and then '96 was the car to be in. Di Resta with a big lockup.
Let's take a closer look. Now this was at turn 1.
And this is as he was getting lapped by Fernando.
Oh, and the car locks up.
Can you imagine if he'd hit Fernando and taken him out there?
The car by that point.
Temperature's okay.
Drivers didn't stay around as long either back then, so I mean there's a good chance that Senna might have only been around for another couple of years anyway before he walked away from F1. But Senna was just Senna completely reinvented the definition of a Formula One driver. Not Senna, sorry, Schumacher. He completely reinvented the definition of a Formula One driver, whereas Senna was just had this incredible feel for the car and could do insane things. Schumacher was a lot more analytical. He was a fitness freak. Drivers did not have anywhere near the sort of level of fitness of Schumacher in his era. He was, he redefined what you needed to be as a driver to be successful. To fight and challenge, you needed to be supremely fit. And the drivers of today have those fitness levels, but back in the mid '90s, nobody could could lay a hand on Schumacher in terms of like fitness. He was just insanely far ahead of everybody else in that respect. And you look at what he did with Ferrari. He rebuilt Ferrari from the ground up, effectively. You know, with Ross Brawn and Rory Byrne leaving Benetton and going to join him at Ferrari. And they planned out that car with a lot of input from Schumacher. And yeah, they nearly won the championship on a couple of occasions. And then 99 they won the Constructors, and then 2000 Schumacher got his third title in his first for Ferrari and ended up getting 4 titles on the bounce, and Ferrari won like 6 or 7 Constructors on the bounce. They won, what, 99, 2000, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. They won like 7 titles, Constructors titles on the bounce.
Currently, you are.
And the F2004 was one of the greatest F1 cars ever made. It was just supremely dominant. All right, we have 20 laps remaining. Jensen's about to get lapped. There is Rosberg and Alonso.
We want good pace.
And we have a yellow flag out there. A little wide moment for someone, perhaps. Yeah, Jean-Eric Verne.
But this is what happened. Now this is where the RB drivers
John
involved.
South
Oh, and they need to be watching those track limits.
clattering over the
But all
over
being
the
well
curb
and
there.
fingers crossed, no lasting damage to the car.
Moving him up. Stream's going well. We are looking like we might actually survive this season. We might actually keep our job. We are in 10th with a very, very wounded car for Jensen. His battery is dying. Hasn't completely died, but it's as good as died. He's got Adrian Sutil closing in. Hopefully we can hang on for a point with Jensen, but Schumacher's up in 7th and he's got a pit stop in hand at the moment over Daniel Ricciardo as well, which is really nice. Too many laps away now from finding out whether this result will be good enough to keep the confidence high enough for us to keep our job. Hobbiton's car will make it to the end. As long as it doesn't crash, his car will go to the end. If the battery fails, it fails. But I mean, it's got reduced output, so it's as good as dead already. But if a battery failure does not stop your car from carrying on. Gearbox, yes. Engine, yes. ERS, no. It just means that you're slow. But he's already slow, so... we'll see. Cecil's lost a little bit of ground again as Grosjean's come through and lapped Cecil. Oh, dear. Right, I am going to have to quickly disappear. Go grab a drink out the fridge, splash some cold water on my face. We'll be back in just a second. All right, back and recharged-ish, ready for the last 17 laps or so. Let's go. Was there a crash between Webber and Hamilton? Yeah, Hamilton locked up. There's been quite a few crashes, actually. Hamilton locked up and hit Webber and took them both out as Jensen pulls over for Romain Grosjean. It's going to allow Sutil to close right back in again. Van der Gaard had a big lockup. He hit Massa, and as Massa came back onto the track after being plonked, he then got hit by a spinning Esteban Gutierrez as well. So we got clocked twice in the same corner by separate drivers. And we've had some issues developing for other cars, as you can see as well, including our own. Killed Schumacher's battery. We've got that pit stop in hand, but there's no point making it because our tyres are absolutely fine. Keeping an eye on Jensen just because of the threat from behind. Here comes Raikkonen and Vettel. Vettel setting a fastest lap as he is in the wheel tracks. Kimi Raikkonen here. And there is Adrian Sutil right behind them. This is the closest we've actually seen to an on-track overtake for a while. And it did not happen. Yeah, we will find out if we're going to keep our job after this Grand Prix as we get to the end of the year. This is the final race of the season. It's 19 Grand Prix in the 2013 season. If our battery was still working, we could maybe have got 9th place with Jensen today. But that just unfortunately has not happened. Schumacher's putting laps on people. He has just lapped Nico Hulkenberg. It's coming up to lap Maldonado and Bottas next. That's them. That's Schumacher. He's been really solid today. Schumacher put in a really good performance. We started this race 14th and 15th. And we've been helped a little bit with stuff going on around us. But, you know, Schumacher's pace has been strong since we got him into clean air. About to get blue flag again, and this time this could be a problem. Yes, Attila's got really close this time as Vettel tries to go around the outside of Raikkonen, can't pull it off. We are going back to Jensen. Still have tyre in hand. We're going to keep our eyes on that. It's going to sort of fluctuate between sort of 1.5 and 2 mil, I think, for the rest of this race now. Ooh, Raikkonen's made a mistake. Has that
Right then, we can take a
opened the
look
door
now.
for Seb or
Right,
not?
so this was the 4th corner. Oh, we've seen a few go off the track there. Well, hopefully not a sign of
That's
things
a
to come.
little naughty. That's leaving the track and rejoining. I'd say maybe as gaining an advantage by not losing a position. I think in reality, if that happened in reality, the stewards would penalise and tell him to give the place up or take a penalty. Sutil again, he's got a nice run on us. We still have a ton of fuel to burn off, look. Might just burn that off for Schumacher. I don't think we will, but we certainly won't with Button. Is this a retirement for Massa now?
But it looks like
No,
they're carrying
how is
some
that car
kind of
still
fault.
going? He's had serious faults all over the place. And yet he's still going, albeit in 19th place. lurking there. I know he's going to have a lunge at some point. We have 11 laps to go with Jensen. And it'll be 11 laps for Schumacher when he crosses the line.
You need to push.
Start to use up what's left of the tyre. I was going to start pushing, but I want to be careful with that because track is drying up a little bit, so tyres will overheat a little bit more. 45 degrees is the track temperature. You can see Jensen's tyres already starting to overheat a little bit. We don't want them to melt in the last few laps and leave us vulnerable. I don't think we've got any real chance of catching Charles-Pic. We are absolutely comfortable against Ricciardo. We've got a pit stop in hand and a little bit extra on top.
Gap 0.7.
Advisable to save the game. Yeah, actually, we probably should because we have had some crashes, haven't we? Yeah. Let's do it. Let's create a few laps to go. Save. Thank you for that, Maicon. Last thing I would want would be this to crash. We have to run it again, and the result is nowhere near good enough to save our jobs. That would be heartbreaking. And this still might technically not be enough. 7th place. I mean, based on how recent results have affected the board's confidence, it should, go in our favour. But again, I don't know how much we're going to lose in confidence at the end of the season from not having completed the season objective. Left. Just, let's see, how many laps to go? 8 laps to go. 7 when we cross the line. We haven't checked in with him for a little while. Let's see how Schumacher's doing as he comes up to lap Bottas and Maldonado. Vern's only a couple of further seconds up the road as well, so he might even get him before the end of the Grand Prix. Valtteri pulling over and letting us through. This is going to be nervous for me, getting us through the back markers like this. If something happens to Schumacher, I will cry. Satil trying to put the pressure on once again. And we've got a yellow flag. Massa. Maybe.
Okay, there are yellows ahead.
Yes,
So
a
let's
spin
take a
for
look at the
Massa.
replay.
What a miserable home race for
Round
Felipe
they
Massa.
go. And there'll be words had after this, I'm sure.
Which Toro Rosso that? It's got to be Ricardo who's put a lap on him. I don't think it is. I think that might have been Vern. No, there's Vern. So it was Ricardo who just put a lap on him. Okay, we're past Maldonado. Next up will be Jean-Eric Verne. Gap for Jensen's opened up to 4 seconds. That means someone's lapped him. Ah, Charles Pic. Burn what's left of the tyre now. Just wonder if there's maybe going to be an opportunity to try and get at Van der Garde. We get pulled over to let Charles Pic through. Can we now capitalise on that? Here come both of the Force Indias. Oh, they are scrapping over the right to try and get past Jensen. I'm amazed the battery hasn't failed completely. Drivers are still very close to the back of Schumacher, which is a concern. Maldonado is in lock-up range. Let's try and do something about that. Some really random questions tonight. Do I like Charlie Sheen's work? Some of it. I wouldn't say I'm a massive fan, but yeah, some of his stuff I've enjoyed. Quite amusing to watch him go off about his tiger blood. So 3 laps to go for the leaders. Just over that for R2 drivers. And there's a possibility that Schumacher might actually, maybe not, it's a little bit far away, but I mean, he won't finish far away from lacking Jensen. Emma thinks Chilton's going to win it all. I swear that is Max in disguise. Always singing Max Chilton praises.
How's this tyre?
Oh, this is going to be a hell of an attack here from De Resta and Satil. De Resta's got ahead of Satil. Problem developing for Seb, just a minor issue in the closing laps. Once again, Alonso is not going to get a win. He's going to be beaten by Rosberg, who starts his final lap. Like we will just about, hopefully, hold off the 2 Force Indians, who seem to be struggling a little bit now. Where their tyres gone, I wonder. There's Rosberg. This is going to be his 3rd win of the season. Alonso in 2nd will get yet another podium, but once again, yet to score a win this season will not happen for him this year. Grosjean will take another podium in 3rd. Seb 4th, Raikkonen 5th. It'll be 7th place for Schumacher. And it looks like Button is going to hang on for that final point as well. And there we go, Rosberg wins.
What a race! The Mercedes gets the win.
Astounding. I don't think anyone would deny them their victory lap after a race like that.
Jensen is going to bring it home in 10th for a point a lap down, but with a car that really didn't want to go the distance, he managed to somehow coax it home. Beats
That's
off
a checkered flag.
a late challenge from Paul di Resta, having been battling with Satil for ages. Schumacher comes home in 7th place and may have just kept my job for me.
Great job, mate.
Turn the car fully off. Let's
Maybe.
kill the engine, wait 5, and then fully off.
It's the lucky hat.
McLaren's driver was truly carrying the team's hopes. And what a result!
I tell you what, they had to work hard for those points today. What a phenomenal achievement that is.
That makes it all worth it, doesn't it? Seeing your team ready to share the celebrations. Now, Karun, with that result in mind, what would they be feeling like down at McLaren?
It was a strangely mixed weekend for them. We saw one driver put in a strong performance, but it was a different story for the other. Definitely positives there, though.
And from our team in Sao Paulo, a big thank you for joining us this weekend.
And that's it for this season of Formula One. The teams will be working hard at the break, gearing up for another year of thrilling F1 action.
So, confirmation of the final result then. It is Rosberg with the win ahead of Alonso and Grosjean. Vettel finishes in 4th place ahead of Raikkonen. Charles Pic in 6th gets some big points for Caterham. That could be hugely important in the constructors' standings. In fact, it is going to be hugely important because it means they will have beaten Williams in the standings. They'll finish 9th. Schumacher up 8 places to finish in 7th. What a great drive from Schumacher today. Ricciardo in 8th, then Van der Garde in 9th. Double points for Caterham today. And double points for us as well. Jensen hanging on to pick up a point in 10th. Then it was the 2 Force Indias of Di Resta and Satil. Verne ahead of Maldonado and Bottas. Hulkenberg and Gutierrez, the 2 Saubers, nose to tail. And then the 2 Marussias of Chilton and Bianchi. And 3 laps down and just completely out of it after being tagged twice very early on in turn 1. Felipe Massa finishing 20th and last. 2 retirements, Lewis Hamilton and Mark Webber. Hamilton locking up, taking out Mark Webber and picking up a penalty which he couldn't serve. Does that mean he will have a 3-place penalty going into the start of next season? Should do. Let's see if the game carries that over. As far as the driver's standings go, Seb long way clear of Alonso, finishing 117 points ahead. Rosberg missing out on 2nd place by just 2 points in the end. So Alonso is crowned in 2nd place. No points for Hamilton after his lockup. He finishes with 224. But no points for Webber either. Webber hangs on for 5th. Raikkonen couldn't quite do the business to take 5th place away from him today. Just falling short with a 5th place finish. Needed to finish on the podium to do that. Then it is Romain Grosjean with 117 points, a long way back, but a good 3rd place for him today. 2nd podium of the season. Massa finished with 88 points, Schumacher with 70, Button with 61, then Hulkenberg with 16, 11 points for Paul di Resta in 12th. Charles Pic up 5 places with those 8 points today to finish with 9 in total, moving into 13th place ahead of Ricciardo, who also had 9 points. Gutierrez in 15th and Verne in 16th, both on 4 points. 17th for Van der Garde, 2 points earned today, moves him up into 17th above Bottas and Satil. 3 points in total for him this year. Valtteri with 2, Satil with 1. Maldonado moves past Chilton in the final Grand Prix of the season to move up into 20th. No points, but ahead of the Marussia driver and Bianchi finishing 22nd and last. Perez, of course, not taking part this season, but will be on the grid driving for Caterham next year. Right, constructor standings, 584 points for Red Bull. They finished 108 points clear of Mercedes in the end. Ferrari hang on for third place, despite a good double points finish from Lotus. They couldn't quite get enough points. They finished 15 points behind in fourth. We were confirmed in fifth a while ago, so 131 points for us in the end. No points for Sauber. They finished with 20. Toro Rosso have 13 points, just 1 point ahead of Caterham, who gained 2 places today, up into 8th place as they jumped Force India as well, with that highest overall finish for Charles Pic today of 6th place, the difference maker there over the Force Indias. Then we have Williams down into 10th place with just 2 points, and Marussia are the only team who did not score this season. Let's take a look at the pit stops. One of our cars made it there. We've got to see a Red Bull top, Force India 2nd and 5th. Toro Rosso getting some points in 3rd, Lotus in 4th. Williams getting 6th and 10th for a double points finish. Sauber gets some points today as well, 7th for them. A couple of points for Caterham. Let's see where we ended up in the end. Red Bull win the competition with 346 points. Ferrari 2nd with 275. We do take 3rd place. A big haul of points there for Force India, but not enough to close them up. They finished 14 points behind us. We add 220 to their 206. Caterham dropped down into 5th place with 199. Solid effort from them this year. That'll be a couple of mil for them in the they'll be very much appreciative of. Toro Rosso with 172. Then Williams with 164. Mercedes 135. 87 points for Lotus. 72 points for Sauber, and 43 points for Marussia. And yeah, Jensen's stopped not that much slower than Schumacher's, just not quick enough. Both drivers achieved their targets. I kind of wish I'd gone for the full target this time instead of the middle targets. We would have earned an extra 164 grand per driver, which would have been very, very nice. But never mind. At least we get a mil to add to the bank balance. Let's head back to HQ and see what the board thought, and then make the 2-week pilgrimage to the end of season review to see if we can keep our jobs. Getting a load of hearts spammed in the chat. I know for a fact that's not going to be Foamy, because he's been calling for me to get fired since the middle of the season. Let's see. We finished the DHL competition in 3rd. That gets us 9.5 mil, which will go straight into our bank account, which is good because we've got some very expensive facility refurbishments that we need to take care of ready for next season. It always says low there, regardless of how happy our sporting director is. Board still low confidence there. That never seems to change there either. Tom Stallard goes up to an 87 overall, and there we go. So, moment of truth time is coming up. Let's see what they thought of that result. They're still in low confidence. Oh, they were disappointed. How are they disappointed with Sao Paulo? That makes no sense at all. But they're still in low confidence. We still have a chance. This will go against us, but third in the pit stop challenge and a bit of extra cash might go in our favour. We're still at low confidence here. I honestly don't know. I think we'll be okay, but there is still a chance that we might lose the job. So you'll just have to keep watching, Foamy. It might happen for you. There we see Seb is the world champion ahead of Alonso and Rosberg. Christian Horner is happy as he is a constructor champion ahead of Mercedes and Ferrari. What was it that we had to wait to see about? Oh yeah, it's our wind tunnel. Is our wind tunnel going to break down? Has it killed our projects? No, they are still going through. That's these projects when they get started, research projects. I think as long as they get started, it doesn't matter if the wind tunnel goes or the. I'm not sure about the design center, but the wind tunnel. Once those projects are started, I think that's fine. But obviously, you can't start any more while it's shut down. So let's advance time. Okay, this is the response then to the wind tunnel shutdown. It did have damage. Okay, so we're gonna have to pay 648,000. Oh shit! You know what I forgot to do? We've just wasted a week. Forgot to get these refurbs going. Up my entire budget, isn't it? It's 2 mil. We can wait till next season. Data center I don't care about. Wind tunnel, I can't do anything with that because it's still shut down. Manisha is saying congratulations to us for beating them in the championship. She says that we were maybe a little bit lucky. The points would say otherwise. But they did have a couple of races where they actually had a little bit of pace on us. Only a couple of races, though. They kind of climbed up a bit and then dropped away again pretty fast. Schumacher Jr. up to a 45 overall. Then Barnicoat up to a 66. And now that we've moved on a day, now we should be able to sort out that wind tunnel. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Go. So, yeah, we're not going to have these fully functioning until late January, maybe even early February. Let's see, 37 days, 29 days, 38 days. It's going to be right at the very end of January, isn't it, before those are fully refurbed. Not ideal. That'll slow down our initial projects, maybe. Let's push on. There is an SQL script I need to run to make sure that all the drivers don't suddenly just retire overnight and half the database disappears. I'm not entirely sure exactly when that needs to be run, so whether it's the first day or the last day of the season, I think it's the last day of the season. I'm not sure, but we're going to create a save point in a moment, and then we'll roll through for the camera. But then we might have to roll back a day or two to run the script to make sure that the database doesn't just implode for next season, regardless of which team we're with. So let's have a look. There we go. A bit more information about the project that we just completed. Pushing forward again. It's the rear wing project. Gains there for next season. That's the front wing, and the underfloor project's done. There we go, and this is where I'm going to create that save the day before the end of the year. So let's overwrite our McLaren file there. And resume. Here we go. Moment of truth. We get some money from the sponsors. 4.175 mil. We might have to mod that in. We've seen that be a bit glitchy in the past. No mandatories. My team marketability rating rockets up to a 946. Our title sponsors were definitely happy with how things went. Ah, that's the calendar. We will leave the calendar alone because I will need to manually sort that out for the 2014 season. So, 9th place overall for Schumacher, 10th for Jensen. Do we keep our job? Team principal rating's gone down by 50 points. Driver rating's gone down. Heritage has gone down slightly, but the team rating's gone up. Constructors rating has gone up. Full confidence low. I think we're okay. I think we're okay. Driver updates. Nothing for the main drivers. There's the rec changes for next season. You can see all parts are going to get 5% across every element. The gearbox, engine, and ERS limits are coming down. We only had 4, 2, and 3 anyways this season. So, yeah, not a major issue there. So, do we get the option to re-sign? We do. So the new season target will be to finish 3rd in the Constructors' Championship for next season, and it will be try and get on the podium in 6 Grand Prix as well. Let's switch team just so we can see which teams I would have been able to go to had I not kept my job. It would have been just Caterham and Mauricia. Yeah, look at that. The expected rating, 348. So if we were at a different team, we would not be able to come here with a rating of 200. But we can check out the driver lineups for next season. So, starting here with Williams, we've got Marcus Ericsson replacing Pastor Maldonado. Felipe Massa not moving across like he did in reality. And then there he is, partnered up with Sebastian Vettel. Daniel Ricciardo did not get the call up. Instead, they decided they wanted to bring in Pastor Maldonado. That is the strangest transfer I've seen. Yeah, that could be very interesting. Mercedes say goodbye to Nico Rosberg, who has gone to Ferrari. And Paul di Resta comes in to partner up with Lewis Hamilton. Ferrari will have Rosberg and Alonso next season. They could be the driver pairing to beat next season. They could very well be the driver pairing to beat. Lotus will have Bruno Senna and Adrian Sutil, which is a bit of a step down from their 2013 driver lineup, that's for sure. Our lineup will stay the same, Schumacher and Button. And then at Sauber, Nico Hulkenberg will remain for another season, and Esteban Gutierrez will make way for Romain Grosjean. So Sauber, if they can kick on, could be an interesting team to watch next year. Toro Rosso, they pick up Esteban Gutierrez, and Daniel Ricciardo takes on or retains his seat. Jean-Eric Verne making way. Caterham is Jules Bianchi moving from Marussia, and Sergio Perez coming back onto the grid after being unceremoniously sacked instantly at the beginning of the year to make way for Schumacher. Force India will have Jaime Alguersuari and Kimi Raikkonen. That is a very interesting lineup. We know about Williams with Valtteri Bottas and Marcus Harrison. So all that's left is to look at Marussia, and it is Robert Wickens and Jean-Eric Verne. So definitely an improved lineup. Max Chilton, the man who will win everything, will not be on the grid next year. So let's stay there. Let's just see what happens, because I haven't run the script. Does everybody disappear? My balance is going to be low, I think. Yeah, 10 mil in debt because of the car cost. But we can get some money from sponsors. Regs and research. Let's see. We just about covered off the engine cooling. We slightly beat the airflow middle. Definitely beat the DRS and the drag. Front wing, we covered off the tyre wear. We didn't quite get the downforce levels beaten, apart from on the low speed. We didn't beat the airflow sensitivity or front airflow either, but we minimized those losses. Pretty good looking rear wing, especially here. This throat's drying up. Let's see. Didn't cover off the engine cooling, but we did cover off the airflow in the middle, not so much the front. Lost a little bit on drag reduction. I'm looking forward to seeing the suspension value. So high speed, medium speed, low speed, all gains. That's good. Gained on the airflow sensitivity and on drag. And we should hopefully see big gains on the suspension. Oh, yeah, look at that. We gained 24% in research, minus 2.5% losses. Gained some really good values in the downforce. Airflow gets a nice little boost. And our drag reduction also gets a nice little boost as well. So hopefully we can actually get a decent suspension going. Even in Snake Killer, even in Safety Clark, we did have a Saturday because we didn't have a Thursday. No, not a Thursday, sorry, a Wednesday. We didn't have a Wednesday, so... yeah, I thought I'd make up for it so we can get this season done this week and start a new one towards the end of next week, maybe the beginning of the week after. We might just do a full week of the new 26 regs next season. And with a hat that you can dig. Yeah, this is Jensen's hat. As you can see. That's the official Jensen Button team hat from 2013. So the hat worked well for us today. Arrived this morning. We need Chilton as a reserve driver. No, we don't. We've signed someone as a reserve driver already. Engines. So, this is where we could have a bit of fun. I think we stick with Mercedes, don't we? I mean, they've got the best power. Yeah. Go with the Mercedes engine. Stay with them. Our drivers have not retired. Maybe I don't need to run a script. Maybe I do. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, we signed Tom Blomqvist to join our team. Oliver Turvey didn't retire. We still got him for one more season. So he'll be retiring at the end of this season then when his contract runs out. We've still got Nick DeVries and Ben Barnacote, Shumi Juni, Phil Prue, Tom Stallard, Adrian Newey's back at McLaren. 96 rated, head of technical. Look at those stats. They are fantastic. Hopefully we can really do something special with the car this year. We've got a lot of ground to catch up on. Alan Permain's stats, how are they looking now? Pretty good. Need a little bit more aptitude out of him, but we're getting there with that as well. So heading over to the boards. These are the targets. We still have low confidence that's carried over from last season. So the season objective for season 2 is to finish in 3rd. And then the long-term objective ends this season, and that's to score podiums in 6 Grand Prix. It's going to be a tricky one. We'll see if we can do that. But that is where we're going to end it for tonight. So I hope you've enjoyed season 1 of our 2013 historical playthrough. We will be back with this save file either towards the end of next week or starting the week after that. We are going to be using the new 2026 DLC regs and new save file, the new updated database file from Monday. We're going to run that at least Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, possibly Thursday and Friday as well. We might just do a full week of the new 2026 stuff. And then we'll see how things are going on Wednesday as to whether or not we come back to start Season 2 on Thursday or whether we wait for the following week. I might wait for the following week. I am waiting on a little extra something for this series, which will be a surprise, I hope. So yeah, you'll have to wait and see on that one. But that is the end of what has been a pretty horrific season. We had to work so hard. We had to change the board's review or the board's target in the editor at the halfway point of the season after our mid-season review, just to stand any chance of keeping our job. We changed it from winning the constructors down to 4th place, which even then we were never going to get 4th place because we just did not have the pace to catch Lotus, let alone beat them. So yeah, we managed to just about hang on. We managed to just about squeeze that confidence back up into low. And now with all the work and all the prep that we did at the end of last year and setting up our staffing for this year, now we get the chance to really see what we can potentially do. I do need to make some tweaks with the file ready for the start of Season 2. Need to go in and change the expertise levels of some of the teams because they are a little out of kilter. The fact that Caterham ended up the season with the best car is just living proof of that. That needs to be fixed. We will kind of bump them back down the order a little bit. I don't want to kill them completely, but I do want to balance them back to roughly where I think they should be after a strong season. Not with the best car, but, you know, challenging the midfield. And I'll make a few little tweaks to maybe a couple of driver stats. I've got to make sure that driver numbers are sorted and all that kind of good stuff. So, yeah, I'm going to have a week or so to play about with the file and try and get it all prepped and ready. So, as I say, we'll be back on Monday with the start of our 2026 series using the brand new 2026 regs, the 2026 variant of Realistic Racing, and of course that brand new database file that's just dropped a few days ago on Overtake. So if you have enjoyed tonight's race and Season 1 in general, then give us a thumbs up. Be much appreciated. If you haven't yet hit that subscribe button, don't forget to do that as well. Click on the bell for notifications as to when live streams are going to start and anything else that pops up on the channel too. And then I'll be back on Monday with, as I say, the start of a brand new series. So until then, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with more F1 Manager very soon.